Thank you, Michael, and thank you everyone for this opportunity to speak on a topic that I am extremely passionate about. Before you can appreciate IOC as a key to the green steel revolution, let me first introduce you to the business. I should have some slides. Sorry. There we go. The Iron Ore Company of Canada consists of 5 open-pit iron ore mines, a concentrator and a pelletizer in Labrador City, and an integrated rail-to-port infrastructure shipping out of Sept-Îles, Quebec. With first production in 1954, we have proudly operated for nearly 70 years. We employ 2,900 people, and in 2022, we paid $530 million in taxes. We invest about $1.3 billion locally on an annual basis, a portion of which benefits our Indigenous partners through IBAs we proudly have with 5 local communities. And we are a value-aligned partner on climate change. While IOC has been an upstream partner to steel manufacturers, let me tell you how we are ideally situated to support the green steel transition. To reach net zero, the world needs a lot more steel to drive and power the energy transition. Steel is a critical material for technologies such as wind turbines, electric vehicles, light rail transit, and advanced manufacturing processes. It is estimated that the world will need 2.8 billion tons of steel by 2050 to build the needed infrastructure and equipment to feed the energy transition. The International Energy Agency projects demand for steel in 2050 will be anywhere from 10 to 40% higher than it is today. Currently, the production of an average ton of steel directly emits nearly 1.4 tons of carbon, and the steel industry accounts for roughly 2% of Canada's emissions, while iron and steel production globally accounts for 7% of total greenhouse gas emissions. The challenge for the industry is to find better ways to supply the steel the world needs for the energy transition while considerably reducing the resulting greenhouse gas emissions. To achieve that, we need to take an up and downstream supply chain approach, from mine site to finished metal manufacturing. To help explain why the Iron Ore Company of Canada is integral to the green steel transition, we need to first understand the different ways that steel is made. Steel is made from iron ore using 2 different processes, the blast furnace route and the electric arc furnace route. While these processes are complicated, the key takeaway is that the blast furnace route requires coal as an input, while the electric arc furnace process does not. Today, around 70% of steel globally is made with the use of coal, resulting in a highly emissions-intensive production process. Motivated to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, a growing segment of the steel industry globally is transitioning to the electric arc furnace process. In this process, iron is reduced with natural gas instead of coking coal, and then completed with an electric arc furnace. The process eliminates around 50% of emissions per ton of steel. The next step, currently being studied by the steel industry, is to expand on the electric arc furnace process by replacing natural gas with clean hydrogen to produce near zero emissions steel. Only 5% of steel today is made through the natural gas-based electric arc furnace process, underscoring a significant opportunity to decarbonize the conventional coal-driven steel process. So at this point, you're probably wondering why a CFO from an iron ore company is going through these links to tell you about this great news. Well, this is where IOC, and more broadly, the Labrador Trough comes into the picture. Okay, here's the kicker. Not all iron ore is created equally, and green steel via the electric arc furnace requires a type of iron ore with exceptionally low impurities called DR-grade iron ore. DR-grade iron ore currently makes up about 4% of global iron ore supply, making it scarce compared to generic iron ore supply. Fortunately, Canada is blessed with an abundance of DR-grade iron ore in the Labrador Trough, making Canada uniquely situated to bolster domestic and international steel decarbonization. IOC is a best-in-class producer of DR-grade iron ore products, with world-leading low alumina and ultra-low phosphorus, making our product both beneficial and suitable for green steel making. We are actively assessing the site decarbonization pathways to produce one of the lowest carbon intensity DR-grade iron products globally. The key is greater access to power. Growing and decarbonizing Canada's DR-grade mining and pelletizing operations is contingent on access to adequate volumes of clean power. While the IOC mine site today is grid connected, its existing transmission power infrastructure operates seasonally at full load, leaving no unused capacity. To decarbonize the mine site, a near tripling of the current electrical supply is required, meaning greater generation and transmission capacity is needed. This additional capacity could cement Canada as a front-end anchor supplier in the global green steel transition. The climate benefits are immense. IOC estimates it could potentially reduce global iron ore and downstream steel emissions by up to 38 million tons of CO2 annually if our DR-grade potential is maximized. Federal Budget 2023 took an important step, creating a 15% refundable tax credit for clean electricity generation. IOC and Rio Tinto support this measure. Partnership on electrification that unlocks production will help avoid the supply-demand imbalances in green steel that increasingly characterize the global energy transition. Recognizing that our potential and the nationally strategic significance of assets like IOC is central to success. Together, I believe we can find better ways to supply the steel the world needs, putting Canada as a front runner in the green steel transition. Thank you for your time and your support.